Okay. Welcome back, not to Aventus, but to a new thing I want to start trying to do.
What do you mean? I see Kidney Bean right there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, we might be glipsing into it here, but this is going to be like a cooldown from Critical Role-esque thing where we talk about what's been going on in the game, what's been going on in our heads, behind the characters, and like what we're thinking about specific things, and also a way for me to get into your heads a little more directly on the decisions y'all are making. Go ahead. What
I'm in therapy. I don't think you want to get in my head.
Oh, you're still wrong. Even if you're in therapy, this is also therapy. This might be my therapy, though. So keep that in mind.
Definitely mine.
The world is on pause and the deities are speaking.
Yeah, I mean, playing D&D is obviously one of my favorite pastimes ever. It's one of the only true multiplayer games that I enjoy. And for me, it's not just a game. It's a way for me to get to know you guys a lot better, because it puts you in situations and things that you have to make decisions based off of your own personal moral compasses.
Oh yeah.
And the way that
for sure.
And the way that they're modified by like what characters you're choosing to portray as well also has something to do with it. But that's also why we need to talk about it, because sometimes it's hard to separate like one from the other. Like, is this a you decision, or is this a Eos decision, or a Sal Rastari decision? So honestly, we could just start talking about some certain things here and like go from there. There's not like a specific.
Yeah, well, you said you've got some questions for us too, correct?
I do. But before we get into that, we are playing tomorrow, right? Around 12 o'clock?
Yes. Yeah.
Is everybody okay with that? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, y'all just make sure to hit me up, make sure I'm awake, because I got a bad sleep schedule.
I'll get you back for waking me up tonight.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna have my alarm set for 10, but I'd be hitting that snooze for a little bit, so.
Okay.
Yeah, even I slept weirdly long today.
I got up early today, but yesterday I slept late as shit because of my facial wound just knocked me out.
Yeah, in real life face plant that you made.
What is that background going on? Is that the TV?
I think Will's kids listening to something.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Did you didn't turn it on? Can you watch something else? They can hear you on there. Okay, sorry about that.
It's okay. I was just like, wait, I'm getting
maybe
ADHD
I can
in here.
figure out how to mute myself while I'm not talking. That would be nice. Anyway, okay. First off, Sal, I got a question for Sal Rastari.
And he may have a question. I'm answering.
You have a question too? Okay.
I mean, I've got a few I can ask if we need it, but
all right.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
Where'd the accent come from?
I know it comes off as French, and I totally do not do a great French accent. I was going for the accents of the Skyrim Khajiit.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel like you were doing Skyrim Khajiit often. I've heard it a few times, and I was like, he's definitely going for Khajiit.
I'm going for Khajiit. I know a lot of times I pull French styling in there. I'm like, I do not want to sound French because I do not do French well.
Okay, this might sound weird, but a lot of the Khajiit when I played Skyrim did sound French to me. Like, they sounded like... What am I looking for? They sounded like Cockney French.
Yeah, they do sound somewhat French, I think.
I think it is closer to French, which I was kind of like, I know it sounds French, but I don't want to. I don't do French, so I'm sure it's probably going to be hard to be
That's
like,
okay.
I'm not doing French, but I'm doing Khajiit, which is French.
I'm pretty sure anybody who knows
Yeah.
French is just trying to do
Just
French.
Yeah, just cat French.
Oh, oui, I am
Like,
that's
doing
what I call it.
French.
That's what I'm going to call it, cat French from now on.
Cat French. Okay. Well, I like that. It sounds way different than Scorch.
It does.
I mean,
But-
Salad
It does.
General is complete different from Scorch.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not even playing with the same person most of the time because Scorch is such a like quiet, like strong-willed, but also like off.
Yeah, and modest.
Yeah, and
Scorch is
modest.
modest.
Yeah, it's just
That's
total
because-
opposite.
Scorch was completely not meant to be a leader. I made him just to have fun with a little kobold character. And because we had such a rotation in and out of characters, and I was the only original character, I had to be the lead. With Sal, it's like he's not designed to be a leader at all,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but can.
Yeah, I was
if
gonna
the
get
need
into that
steps
too.
up.
That's another question. Is that since you're no longer like taking up the mantle of being like the leader of the party, is that like one of the main inspirations that you have for him, like trying to take himself out sometimes? I mean, maybe I could put that better, but is that one of the thought processes? Is like they need to realize not to put you at the head of everything because you will run them into a fire.
No, I think his I wouldn't call him suicidal tendencies, but his eagerness to find an end is just how much he hates himself.
Yeah.
Not because he hates others. He wants someone to be there
Oh no, I get that.
if it happens.
I just wondered if there was another like meta reason behind it, because you did specify towards the beginning that you didn't want this character to be a leader, even
Yeah,
more
I
so than
didn't.
Scorch.
Yeah, I didn't want him to be a leader, but I also knew there's a chance he might, so I'll leave the.
I'm feeling like Eos is somewhat becoming the leader of this party right now.
Right now, yes, it seems like it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
which is
Yeah, with this situation.
which
for
is
sure.
crazy after her playing Borscht. Everyone's just playing their total opposite now.
Yeah.
Because Borscht was so like, I don't give a shit as long as food's on the table at dinner time. I'm fucking here for it.
Mhm.
But Eos
Yeah,
is,
she just wanted to find a husband too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Borscht just wanted a hubby and some food. Like that's all she cared about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for
Eos
certain.
is on a mission.
I see. That's funny. Yeah, no, I like that about Eos. What did you have any specific like inspirations for coming up with Eos, or why you wanted her to be like a half angel sort of character? I know we talked about some of her origins after the fact, but it feels like you wanted a character that had like some strong familial relationships right from the get-go.
Well, I am a huge Final Fantasy XIV fan. And in Final Fantasy XIV, there are fairies that are named after mythology characters and gods and whatnot. And one of the, the main characters is the three siblings is Eos, Selene, and Helios. And a lot of my inspiration is drawn from that and the mythology and just kind of like that. And of course, I'm a VTuber. And my character has wings, so I was like, I want wings this time.
All right, yeah. Oh, I didn't even put that together. You do have wings on the avatar.
Yeah, so it was kind of a mixture of everything, just kind of going all into one. And that part of me was like, I really want to bring this together. And then Sal over here was all like, just for the record, your gods in the story are not in this world. And I was like, shit. So
Yeah. Well, I
we
mean,
had to
you
kinda
can take
wiggle
inspiration
some-
from it. That doesn't mean it has to match it 1-to-1.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I did with Dahlia, because she was actually kind of based off of a few things as well from the first campaign.
Well,
and I
the
did call.
story I was telling earlier last time we played was that there are black holes appearing and they're
Yeah.
not sure where they're leading. And that's kind of where I'm coming from with this, is that maybe, wink wink, she's not from this world.
Mhm.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Did you have you come up with anything else for those specific origins, or did you decide to go with what we talked about and it actually being rooted in the Forgotten Realms mythology? Because honestly, something I don't really want to reveal right now, but we could go either way with it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we can go either way. I'm kind of still kind of debating on it. I'm seeing where everything's going right now, but I do have some ideas. I just haven't implemented them yet because I'm still kind of seeing where everything is going so far.
Yeah. Me personally though, I do love the aspect of like the demon aspect of your like vignette backstory, just based on, things that are gonna come out about Kidney Bean later on down the line. There's a lot of story potential there.
Mhm.
I like how it alludes to like your parents being absolute badasses and your brother too,
Yeah.
and just absolutely slaying a demon like it's nothing at dinner time.
He's very bored with life. He just wants to go on a big adventure, and Celine just wants to read books and study, and then Eos is like, I just want to stay home and play with bears and animals and
Yeah.
plants.
Honestly, after
Yeah.
that vignette, I feel like I've had to accelerate the timeline on what I had planned for Helios, since he's having to deal with like bigger and stronger threats, let's say, than what he normally would have had to, because he's obviously, part of a strong order, already got some skills, already able to slay big ass demons. So it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense for him to be like, oh hey, I'm level 3 too, along with you guys.
Yeah,
So
no, he's definitely stronger. He has been raised to be stronger. He's not like a druid who just, takes care of things around the drove. He or the grove. He's a literal, like, he trained under his dad. He wants to fight. He wants to adventure.
So
So
is
yeah,
that to say that Eos has not been trained necessarily in the same way as, because it seems like
No.
you could beat the shit out of stuff too.
Yeah, Eos knows how to fight, but compared to her brother, you might as well like throw a infant in a ring full of tigers. It's not the same.
Yeah, it's different.
Because Helios is trained to fight. He knows how to fight. He's very good at fighting. And while Eos knows how to fight, she doesn't know how to fight like Helios.
Awesome. Now let's see. I had another question. It might come back to me here in a minute, specifically for EOS. But Rune, I can tell you were really conflicted during the last game because you have something that nobody else has, which is the letter that I wrote for you.
Yeah.
So he seems to be keeping that close to his chest. Is there a particular reason why he doesn't want to make it like everybody's problem?
Well, I mean, I think part of it too is just that he thought that was the direction they were heading in. So just kind of like, okay, well, there's no point in like really bringing this up right now, since they are headed in that direction, and just maybe, not that he's like hiding
Right.
anything,
Yeah.
but just that, there's no reason to raise any alarms or anything like that at the moment, because it is like more of a personal thing for him. But so yeah, he's kind of got that pull now with okay, well, this is what we're doing and this is the direction. So I think he's kind of like, okay, well, this thing that's going on kind of has a bit of a timeline to it, based on what it had said. So he's probably like calculating, like, okay, well, if we can go knock this thing out, then maybe I can get there before,
Right.
this thing.
Is there anything that has changed about Rune Eye since you started playing him in this game? Actually, this is going to be a question for all the long timers, but hold on, let's get to that in just a minute. You guys can think about that for a second. I want to get to Kidney Bean. is our newest addition to the group. We've only been here for 3, 4, 5 sessions, something like that.
Yeah, and is already done with everybody.
Yeah, I was like, wow, she's really getting like sick of everybody in this last couple of days. Is there what's going on in Kidney Bean's head?
She's she made like with what specifically what we the idea we had last session about like part of her backstory, which I love, by the way. She fought really hard to get back to Crane to find like some sort of peace, make a life for herself, make a new name. And traveling with them, at first in Crane, she was like, okay, I kind of dig these people, they're kind of cool. And then they just take her to take her out of the place where she
Five more
had some
minutes, okay?
security, and now she's basically going back into survival mode again. And that's kind of where she's at.
Makes sense.
And that's,
I still need to get some stuff clear about Kidney Bean. So she is a goblin, but she's not specifically a goblin mechanically speaking. She is a hex blood, right?
Yeah. Yes. So
where'd you read about hex bloods?
It's a part of D&D Beyond.
So you were just like, you just came across it and decided you thought that might be a good thing for your plushie.
Well, I always knew Kidney Bean was going to be a hexblade. Like when I first even before I started this campaign, I always had the idea of her as a D&D character. And the reason I decided on that was not just because of the color, but more so because of her the themes that go behind her and the dark fantasy world you're creating.
Yeah, she's got a really dark origin that's kind of scary, honestly, even compared to everybody else's.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and that is by design.
It's kind of par for the course with your characters at this point.
Yeah, I do have a lot of other cute characters like I was messaging you about in Messenger, but I didn't feel like a lot of them would fit specifically with this campaign setting.
Yeah, there is I said to my mom, which is our only and biggest fan, by the way, that this campaign was like an Eldritch horror campaign, and was she getting some of that? And she said, "What? No, I'm not getting that at all." And I said, "Oh, okay. I guess I need to do it harder then." But you get it from the get-go that there is dark machinations and things at work at all times, and I just kind of slightly allude to it happening and don't ever expand on it, just to sort of set in a feeling of anxiety or discomfort. But I guarantee you all of those things are doing things behind the scenes, or have done things that will make a change, a difference in the world. I want it to come to fruition at some point, everything that you've learned and everything that's seems like it's just disconnected facts that don't make a whole lot of difference. But I want it to be, when we get to the end of the game, you could go back to the very first episode and hear things that I'm saying that are cryptic and strange, and see how that ties directly in with what was planned to happen all along.
So basically you're waiting for our aha moment.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I haven't
Sounds
given you enough information for that aha moment, of course, but I just want you guys to feel like it's coming. It's foreshadowing. There's lots of foreshadowing going on.
I was gonna say, I feel like really what he's waiting on is for us to be at the level where he can throw some real fucked up shit at us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Taking it easy on you guys for the most part, although I'm pretty sure you guys will probably be beyond level 4 by the time you get to Andridge at this point. I thought maybe just one level, but if you guys are starting to, like I said, I had to accelerate some timelines. So, okay, back to
Anyway.
the other question. How have your characters, we'll go one at a time, like changed or things have turned over about them as you've played them that you didn't really expect or plan for whenever you first created the character? And Kitty, you can answer it too if anything's changed since, the first episode or whatever. But whoever feels like answering, go ahead.
Well,
well-
I think. Okay, yeah, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Usually I attach myself to my husband pretty hard, but I think this time he's made a character that I actually feel like glaring at him after every single time we play.
You sure there's no flirtiness in that glaring? I feel like there's some jealousy going on sometimes.
Eos is like, ugh. Gross, why did you say that?
Yeah, they all love the kitty cats.
Yeah, anyway.
Oh, maybe the jealousy I'm picking up is what?
It's definitely not jealousy. It's more disgust. Like, why would you say that? But also, you're right. I definitely feel like Eos has kind of taken a leader spot due to her storyline, and that was not something I was expecting. Because you're right, just like Borscht, I kind of like being a background character and kind of just going with the flow. But this time, I'm like, okay, I got a really good story, so I think I'm having fun with that.
That first moment you were in Crane and you were like, I need to go find the guards. I was like, oh shit, she has something she wants to do. That makes her the only person here who has something they want to do.
Yeah.
Incredible. And I'm not saying that to down on anybody, but you have to find things to care about, in the game to make it worth it in the long run. And there are things that Runai cares about. I don't know what Sal cares about other than alcohol. But to have something very specific to lock onto, like, oh, there is this NPC that is part of my backstory really hard, and I need to find them. That's a big hook.
Yeah.
That I could do a lot with. And the more of those tidbits you guys give to me, the better, because I can make the game, lock into like your wants and desires more than just my own.
Yeah, well, Runai, he definitely does with like his brothers, and when we get more into like the glyph tongue thing, which
but your brothers are like okay, right? Like there's not like a reason to go save them or anything. It's just like, yeah, I kind of want to see them. It's a little different.
No, well, not glyph tongue. Glyph tongue is rogue and not good. He's in cahoots with the Great Horned Rat. So
well, he hasn't talked about his brothers at all to the other characters, as far as I know. Up to this point in the game.
He's talked about Shardpaw, his brother Shardpaw being at the fortress and stuff like that.
That's the one that I remember him saying, and that was just
that's
recently.
That's the one he's closest to, he was close to Glyph back in the day, but that I'll get into that story, that's going to be one of his little memory things that comes forth, but that is something that's going to end up kind of becoming a thing that kind of needs to be taken care of later on, but that's not anything we have to rush towards or anything at the moment, but it is well,
if you give me
big thing,
more behind the scenes information about that, I can figure out ways to make it loop in. I've already been doing some work about that, about the Great Horned Rat and how it works in with the other machinations I've got going on. But I need to know more specifics.
I know that there was something, I think it was Sal and Weiser were talking about something up in the cold, like the cold area, maybe going up there. I think it was actually about alcohol or something, but there was something we were looking at, and I can't remember off the top of my head.
It was about alcohol, but it wasn't really about alcohol.
Yeah, but see, that's kind of that's kind of the area. Yes, and that's the area that Glyph Tongue is kind of at. He fled to the frozen mountains somewhere, and
ooh, okay, I can log onto that.
He's causing some pretty bad things going on, because like his I mean, I can go. I mean, I don't care. I can go into it now a little bit, but like his powers are different than Runai's powers,
I
you
think
know.
I'm
And
safe to mention this because I think I said this as Wiser already, but there's like demons in that part of the world. Not devils, but
yeah,
demons. And
yeah.
yeah,
And
that could work. Like we
see,
could do
that's
something with
part
that.
of what Glyph Tongue's thing is. You know, he has the shard in. They put the shard in his tongue, so he found over time that one of his gifts that he had was being able to talk to infernal things and do like necromantic and summoning type shit, and it kind of
Ooh.
took off with him. And so he, even though he was given like his route of free will, he's kind of gone back to working with like the great horned rat and shit like that. So he's not on a very good path, which, you know, like I said, I'll get into some of that backstory with some of Runai's memories with how that kind of came about, because I've got a thing I kind of started with my next little vignette or whatever. But yeah, I mean, he's like I said, he's closest to Shardpaw, who resides at the fortress, because I mean, he goes there often, and that's where his wife is and shit. So, but yeah, and Stoneheart, he's not real close with Stoneheart. Stoneheart's just, you know, on
Well,
his own
we'll get into
path,
that
traveling.
certainly as
Yeah,
time goes on. It's just, you know, a
yeah,
specific, you know, like what I was talking about with EOS is something I can latch onto immediately. Like that's a lot of
mhm,
stuff that will maybe eventually like start to unfurl, but maybe that's why
yeah,
it's mostly it feels like she's taking up a leadership spot right now is because she's the one with something
mhm,
directly she's working on like
yes,
right now.
yeah,
So
hmm,
maybe that'll fluctuate and change as the time goes on. But with the question that
hmm.
at hand, is there anything that's changed about Runai or evolved since you first started playing him that you didn't expect?
I think with his like comfortability with the group ostracized in like especially cities and stuff, people aren't used to seeing Skaven, or you know, I mean, I don't know much about like regular rat folk in the world and if you've got them much in there, but you know, he's used to going into towns and kids like stepping on his tail and you know,
Yeah,
just being mocked, and just people assume he's dirty and gross, and you know, oh, he's conniving, he's a rat, you know. So to just like be in a group where he feels like just accepted, and he's just like, I don't know, he just kind of meshes in well and isn't as looked down on. I think that has
yeah,
made him comfortable with like opening up and just like kind of his personality showing more than just a studious, you know, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, you know, I'm studying plagues and stuff. It's like now, you know, him and Sal have kind of bonded, and like now it's like he doesn't have many friends. So in this group, he feels like he's actually becoming friends instead of just traveling companions, which is kind of like a
right.
big thing for him personally, you know.
Well, from my end with the thing about like how people look at Runai, I mean,
Mhm.
to be honest, 99.9% of them have probably never seen a rat person before. Definitely
Yeah.
not. But at the same time, where you've been, they have a lot of different types of races come through.
Mhm.
So they may just think that you're a strange looking tabaxi or like a half
Mhm.
wolf person or something, and or maybe they just don't care to look at all and don't really know what they're looking
Mhm.
at or notice that it's something brand new. And also on
Yeah.
top of that, like the only places that I've really like let any kind of like racism sit in the world just as a sort of flavoring is just in like the most rural areas of like the human
Mhm.
territories where it's just one of those things that you would come to expect and then be like, boy, what you doing in my bar, you ain't welcome here, you know. It's just fun, it's
Yeah.
fun at that point
Yeah.
because then you get to beat their
Mhm.
ass. I just don't want that
Yeah.
to be it, like a normal part of the world where everybody hates
Yeah,
everybody
no.
just for no reason. Also, it doesn't
Mm.
make any sense with the history of the world because, you know, at one point everybody were slaves under the Avram elves. So they were all forced to work together for literally 1,000 years. So anything that would have been like racist a line would have died out during that time, and everybody just hates elves. But now nobody even hates elves because it's been nearly 1,000 years since the War of Machine
Yeah.
and Mana ended. But we'll get into more
Mm.
lore and stuff like that as the game goes on. A lot of this we talked about in the first campaign, but we'll be touching back on that subject. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite aspects of the first campaign was like learning about all the history and lore, which is so weird that I'm
Mhm.
playing a character that has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Like Kidney Bean is the like I love Kidney Bean and I say this with love, but she's the most stupidest character I have made.
I
You
love her.
know, I may kill Kidney Bean. I just want you to know that up front. It may happen at some point. Of course, any of you could die at some point, and that's a
Mhm.
sacrifice I'm willing
It's
to
a
make.
high risk with a glass cannon character.
Yeah, that's the
Mhm.
main thing I was gonna think. It's like she doesn't seem to have a whole lot of mobility options, and she's like high burst damage and then low HP. It's like kind of a recipe for getting blasted at some
Yeah,
point.
I planned on starting her off that way, but like as the game goes on, as the game goes on, I am going to pick up like certain feats, and of course I am going to dual class eventually, which is going to
Ooh.
help boost her health and more of her like mobility and combat potential.
Oh,
Which is
Mhm.
so
which
you
is
need
what
those
I've always had
levels.
planned when I did.
You need to get them levels
Yeah.
then. Well, all right. We will we'll be working on that then shortly. Is there anything that's changed about the character since you made it that I know it hasn't been that long, so did you expect her to be annoyed with everybody in the first day?
No, that did come as a bit of surprise for me because I admit originally Kidney Bean's concept, she's just supposed to be this like fun party goblin, or at least that's how she's supposed to start out. But I realized as
Honestly,
playing her, I was like,
honestly, I felt a real familiarity with the character during the last game whenever she just got pissed off, because I feel like I've known this person and I feel like it's an addict who is not getting what they want necessarily right now.
yes,
And
and
it's
that was.
it's very familiar to me, so
Yeah, and that's another thing because I always planned on her having like her demons, so to speak. But seeing actually playing her out and seeing how like that affects her mood, and what she does and how she reacts to certain things, I would say that's an aspect that I didn't necessarily plan for it, but I am just taking it and running it because I do love that aspect of the character. I feel like it
Mhm.
makes her like real and relatable in a sense because she is this party goblin. She does like to party, but she has reasons behind why she does what she does.
Mhm.
That she,
most
that she,
people do have a reason for their vices,
Yep. That's kind of like Tigra, you know. She'd go
yes.
into her seasons, you know. She might be partying like crazy one day, and then boom, she's in winter mode, and she's downtrodden and depressing to be around.
Yeah. I feel like what about the sensuality of the character? Obviously that was there from episode 1. Is that just
Yeah.
another vice, or does she have like a want or need to find a partner, or is she just doing it for the fun of it?
That would definitely be more for the fun of it. She likes playing up the act, even though it's not like the most healthiest thing because part of the first session, uh, a patron decided to try and get a little too handsy, which I fully liked and played with just and that has a lot to do with how closed off Kidney Bean actually is as a character. She's not exactly like the most trusting. She's not gonna like word vomit like Dahlia used to. She's
Yeah, I don't feel
kind
like
of
Dahlia's sitting there whenever you're playing Kidney Bean. Wouldn't say it's a total polar opposite like some of the other characters, but I do feel like there's a very distinct difference. obviously Dahlia didn't want to be seen, but ended up being seen a lot because she would word vomit, like you said, and just had all of these
Yeah,
things that she had to do in the world that were like heavy on her mind. So she had to put herself out there. But I feel like Kidney Bean has, you know, demons and skeletons in the closet that she can't find.
yep. And that is kind of why like I'm playing her as I am like right now. She is like, you know, she is frustrated, she is mad, but it's more so fact not at the like not at the people that she's with, but it's more at the situation that she put herself in, because that is something that she always does. She always puts herself in really bad situations. And that's something that's going to be like, you know, a character thing throughout the campaign too, is just Kidney Bean putting herself in situations that she probably could have stayed out of had she just, you know, thought a little bit about it.
Yeah, well, that might be everybody at some point.
That's true.
But yeah, for certain. All right, that's good. I'm gonna open it up to you guys for a minute.
Oh,
Do
you don't
any?
want to know if Sal's changed?
Yeah, no. Go ahead, Sal. Tell me how
I
you've
was gonna-
changed
yeah.
to Sal.
Well, I mean, I have a lot, so I was going to wait for everybody to say their part before I
Okay, yeah, go
rattle on. for too
go
long.
ahead, go ahead. I think about Sal probably more than any of the other characters, so I think I've already thought this through. But you go ahead.
I can definitely say Sal changed from day one. Because he came in, he was supposed to be somebody who inserts himself into the group. And unfortunately, there was no group for him to insert himself into. So me as a person had to go, oh, I have to make this group then, or else the DM's entire game is going to fall apart. So I guess Sal will be the one that just gathers people instead.
Yeah.
And that was what changed of him on day one right away, is he had to get the party together instead of just inserting himself into the party.
Well, I think part of that was it was like the impetus of like, you don't have anything, you have no gold, you have to figure out how to make it, and you're like, okay, let me get all these, for lack of a better word, suckers together to help me make some money. And that's how I felt Sal was like from the very get-go.
Pretty much, he's like, I don't want to be here, but I ain't leaving by myself. Who can I get to fucking go with me?
Right.
But I think after that, he was totally not meant to be a leader. But we didn't have anybody acting as a leader, so I would have to be like, okay, well, Sal will definitely be like, I want to fucking go. So let's fucking go. You know?
Anything else that has like changed since then? Obviously that was pretty quick. But
I would say also, when Kidney Bean showed up, I was very excited because she's fun and outgoing and party, and I was like, that's Sal. So I totally feel like I'll be able to jump in with this character. And when I was going to, that was when Toby stepped in and did stuff. So it's like, oh, okay, Toby's got this. I've already got a few things with EOS. I've got some things with Runai.
yeah.
I'll let them do some stuff, and I guess they'll connect through things, and Sal will do his thing later. Unfortunately, we had a leave of Toby, and I have not had the chance to insert Sal with Kidney Bean in a party.
What did you?
Fun time.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Make sure you pick your words very carefully.
Oh, that was very much intended, my friend.
I get exactly where Paul's from, because I actually felt something similar with Kidney Bean just over like the course of the campaign, like especially when you know, Sal was like, oh, do I need to flash these frogs, and Kidney Bean was like, Kidney Bean was all for it. She was like, ooh, dinner and a show, that's fun.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I could totally fit Sal with this character, because this will be like complete chaos.
Yeah, I'm
be.
feeling chaos from you two especially.
So when Toby stepped in and did stuff, I was like, okay, I don't want to take over everything, because I felt like with Scorch, a lot of that happened. Scorch would be everybody's answer. He would be the one that always had an answer for things, always inserted himself for whatever would go wrong. And I was like, well, I don't want to steal everybody's thunder.
Scorch always had an answer for everything. He was like, oh, well, this is what we're going to do now that this is happening. And that is not how Sal is at all.
And I didn't want to steal a lot of spotlight from people. So I was like, okay, this is Toby. I'll give him his thing. And this means they'll probably bond. And, I'll let that be. I'm not going to steal any of that. So unfortunately, that bonding left. So I was like, okay.
I feel like, you definitely had that moment where you thought you were going to get along with Toby pretty well. I thought he was going to play the character to a more fun degree, but I feel like his backstory and stuff, he let him get himself to a place where he was afraid to make certain choices or to be loose with his play acting because he didn't want to give it away too early or something, and it just ended up getting bored with it. I feel like he should have gone about it a little bit differently, but maybe he'll bring his character back at some point. I don't know for certain.
Yeah, and I wasn't blaming Toby on anything. If things happen, things the way they do, they happen. But I was totally intending to have some fun moments with Kidney being there. I didn't ignore anything.
I know this is to throw it way, way back, but I was very upset to have more go because I had so much in plan for her at some point that I had to write out because, I love an Ice Queen, and it did not work out because they iced us out, so...
Yeah, more was going to be so fun to interact with Sal, I thought.
I had a very strong inkling to draw that one time she went into a mushroom, because she just had the most serious pissed off look on her face when she went into the mushroom.
Yeah.
I really wanted to draw that, but I never got around to it. I got too much to do and too many hobbies as it is, so
yeah, I feel that.
But I definitely saw it in my head.
I do have a question. I don't know if you can answer it yet or not, but since Moore did leave, I'm curious about that fucking staff.
Yeah, the staff didn't really have much to it other than it was just worth a lot of money. But as far as magical abilities, it had a lot of money that it was worth, and it had lore tied directly to her people. I guess we're using our character names here. I told Rue and I this at one point. I was like, I was gonna have a familiar from one of her professors come and visit her and tell her to come back to the south, to the southern coastlands, a place you guys haven't gone before, which is where all of the snaky people live. And the familiar was going to be Gleeboo from the first campaign.
Oh, God.
I would have loved it. I would have loved it so much.
So, yeah, I would have directly been tied in with the Cult of Shar that was in the first campaign, since this is happening before that. It is before you guys decimated Gleeboo.
And she probably wouldn't have had any clue as to why we're all like Gleeboo.
And it was going to be a whole thing. You were going to travel with him to the southern coastlands and see exactly why he needed to die. But that didn't come to fruition. And actually, a lot of my plans have fallen through thanks to your choices that you guys never see. From the very get-go, you guys deciding to go to Tandrida was not what I thought you would do. But I did have another plan where you were going to go to the abandoned mines first and end up going through the Underdark and somehow get pulled into my my underpinning over there. But I just rewrote some things and made it work for the jungle, which I'm glad it worked out that way, because that was awesome. That was an awesome arc going over that way.
Fun.
It allowed me to play with some aboriginals and stuff.
I just feel like, with the current trajectory, I feel like there's going to be like a lot of story plot points that are going to come out of this specific little track.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't have it no other way. You guys are going to meet an ancient angel that was taken out of heaven. There ought to be some weird stuff with that, right? I read a lot today and last week, keeping up with my own lore and stuff. I'm going back and tying everything together and putting a nice bow on it.
And it's all going to be wasted when he TPKs us all when we head there.
Hey, my world will live on, okay?
That just means we have to go back to the first campaign if that happens, because that way we actually have characters that can handle that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
these first
believe
guys
it or not, though,
don't
this one has something separate-ish from the first campaign, so it's not exactly the same deal. Like, you're not going to come across, nodes of the fracture at some point in this campaign because they're not there yet. But there's a whole nother thing to deal with. But you'll have to figure it out as we go along with it. Now, like I was saying earlier, wait, go ahead.
I was just saying, I'm so intrigued by like this campaign as well. I really love like the mysterious aspects that you have in play with
Thanks.
it. It was just a compliment towards you.
Thanks. Yeah, I was gonna ask. Well, this is the section, probably the last section where I open it up to you guys to ask questions of each other and of me, whatever you would feel like. If you have specific things you've been wondering and it just didn't seem to fit in at the table. You guys just all start talking at once and then figure out who's going to talk.
I'm just convinced you're like legitimately trying to kill us all.
Maybe.
Yeah, see, knew it. See, I told you, Sal. He's trying to kill.
It's payback for Scorch. I know.
Yeah, it's your fault.
I say what I've always said is that my job is to kill you fairly. So if it's not fair, it won't happen.
Holy, that sucks.
Yeah, it got pretty close there, but that's why we've got like certain mechanics and stuff. I mean, honestly, my drop down and like crawling state or whatever homebrew rule is mostly so that you guys always are up and doing things, so that you don't ever feel like there's a moment where you're just like, oh well shit, I can't do anything for 2 or 3 turns, which might translate to just sitting there for 30 or 40 minutes sometimes. Instead, you get to make your own choices and do something immediately on your turn, which I love that.
Yeah.
But it's also a buffer for me, so that if I'm throwing stuff at you guys that's just going to kill all of you, that you can instead not die. But, I try not to over buff characters or stuff to the point to where it's going to kill all of you. So I try to keep it all nice and fair and above board. And sometimes maybe they hit a little too hard. Maybe sometimes they don't hit hard enough. So I have to tweak things as it goes to make it feel challenging and fun.
I've got one for Runai, and this just to kind of clarify for myself, because I'm trying to remember if I heard at the time I was trying to be like, how do I know that? Your wife, you said, was a Haragon, I think.
Yes.
Now that's the rabbit folk, right?
Yeah, Haragon. Yep.
Okay, I was trying to, because when you said it, I was like, I don't know that race. Is that one of the Warhammer ones? And I got looking it up. I was like, I can't find any information on it.
That's D&D actually.
And then I remembered after a while. I was like, oh, that's the rabbit folk.
Yeah. Yep.
See, that's one of the reasons that she's not getting looked weird at, because there's all sorts of beast races in the world, So it keeps tying in with itself.
Yeah, and she's definitely a bit different than him. He's he's dark and whereas she's very bright and colorful and just cute, But they definitely got their shared interests and what they bonded over and everything.
Believe it or not, I've already got a place that's natively Harengon owned. That's like several towns. It's in the Barbarian Islands, and it's called Rabbit Foot Coast, I think, like right there in the middle of that map. Hold on, I'll bring it up.
Well, that's cool.
Somewhere. So you guys have never dealt with the race before, but I've already like got a place for them, or at least
That's cool.
our origin place. You know, maybe they lived for a certain amount of years or whatever. Hold on, I'm bringing it. I'm trying to bring it up. My eyeballs are itching. My freaking allergies are crazy right now. See here, Rabbit Foot Coast.
Look at there. Okay.
Verquin and Tredor. Of course, you know, she might not be from here, but it's just one of the areas. This also has turtle folk and some more orcs and lizard folk.
Mm-hmm. That's
What
cool.
you're telling me is it's Furry Island.
Oh my god.
Okay, yes, it's Furry Island.
That's what I thought.
No clothes
I want to
allowed.
go there. I want to go there now.
Where Sal
We need to
belongs.
stop what we're doing currently and just go straight there.
You remember there was a whole thing tied in the first campaign with the very illustrious captain of your ship who lived on an island and was at war with the Barbarian Islands at one point.
Yep.
What was his
I
name?
remember that.
Was it like
Tailfin.
Tailfin.
Captain Tailfin.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
right. Yeah, so
Of
there's
course, she would remember that. She, was very friendly with that man.
we've been in this world long enough that there's
Yes.
like lore on top of lore that doesn't even touch the campaign.
Yep.
I will say though, when we get back to the first campaign, that has to tie back in because Dahlia did that for some really messed up reasons.
Oh, really?
Yes. There is a
I can
very
only imagine.
specific-
Daddy issues.
Well, I mean, she doesn't. I mean, well, not only that, but considering what potentially
What?
happened to Tailfin after
What?
Seth got his shit back. Dahlia, I will just say Dahlia fully knew that was going to happen and does not care.
Oh, see, that's surprising because Scorch has the whole time been like, I really need to find him for Dahlia
know.
because I feel bad that it happened, and she's kind of like
Oh,
all
that's
over
cold.
it. And now knowing that, it's like, oh, Scorch is like, I want to find her boyfriend because I feel bad that it happened to him now.
Well, she persuaded him to it, so he needed it probably.
Yeah. And not only that, I wanted to make sure that they wouldn't just drop us off and leave too, because that is a very real possibility of them doing.
No, now you've got him sailing all across the world to get back with you guys. You did your job too well.
Yeah.
Well, I was more talking about Tailfin in that aspect. I know like Seth Black Hollow probably had some thoughts and feelings about things.
Oh yeah. Well, I know things probably got misconstrued a few times, but if you remember, your scrying was messed up, like from the moment you guys left Asturza. So you had seen Seth Blackhollow like kill that whole village and go back and take the ship back and all of that stuff. You'd seen him on the ship crying at one point, and it was revealed whenever you like talked to Sirik or whatever that your visions were false, and that's not what happened or what was happening, and that you were just being led astray by him.
Which Dahlia is very well aware of now, even though she still has like no trust for quote unquote Sirik or John.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's a whole other campaign we could talk about, but all right, that's enough for that one. Anybody else have any other questions real quick? I'm gonna try to wrap this up. I think it's been like an hour now.
Something like that.
I'm good. I got nothing left.
All right.
Anybody else?
Sal, you were gonna update your character, right, with your new outfit? I haven't seen that yet.
Oh yeah, I started it. I've got to get back on Hero Forge and see if it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
Should be.
and save it because I don't remember if I did a little bit of changing, but every time I look at the character, I see his eyes bulge. I'm like, I hate how the eyes bulge.
I mean, he's a cat. He's probably gonna have big eyes, but yeah, I get what you're saying. You probably want to change it up a little bit.
Yeah. I mean,
Honestly, it's fine if you're just like this far up. It doesn't matter anymore. You can't see anybody's eyes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just me. I see it and I'm like, I need to fix that.
All right.
But
Well,
no, I have done that, but I do have one more thing to ask, and this is just mostly on DM for me figuring out what I should do with the character.
okay.
The characters that are all involved with the story and stuff. Do you still want me to leave all their endings and like what's going on with them to you, or do you want me to have an idea of where I would like them to be?
I mean, I definitely don't want to cross anything that you have prepared. If there's things that you want to be left open that you don't want to know, then I'll need to know that specifically, and I know probably exactly what you're. Oh well, then let me know of them, and we'll hash them out together at that point.
Yeah.
Pretty much the way I feel like about it is like, unless I'm making a drastic change or decision, I will just like ask you before I do something big or major, or we'll have a conversation about it. Kind of like how you guys ended up being sisters in the first campaign, and that was something we had talked about. So it wasn't something I just looped in randomly.
Yeah.
But yeah, certainly we could talk about it.
Like, I have ideas of what I would imagine I would like to see with the kids, but also it's like, I also know you sometimes have very traumatic things happen with some people. So it's like, well, if that's what he chooses.
Yeah, see, I didn't know if you wanted to like have that storyline be cut off and it be done, or if you wanted it to keep going, because there's a lot of things already happening, and obviously the character is like having some moments thinking about it. So if you would like that to end, then we'll have to get to some sort of resolution, and it'll probably happen when you guys get back to the Western Highlands.
I'll give this, I'll say now, he doesn't want to go there because he doesn't want to confront it, but at the same time, I want to go at the Pearsons. But that was the other thing, is I had to ask, I don't remember in the first campaign, how far apart is this one and that one?
I think it was 15 years.
Yeah, it's somewhere around there. It's like, I think like 14 or 15 years. I don't remember exactly.
Okay, because I know the Pearsons were still active in that one. So I was like, well, I know I can't completely obliterate the Pearsons then.
No, I mean,
you can still exist for that one.
You can still do damage,
Yeah, so I gotta decide, like, how can I fuck up the Pearsons? Yeah.
Right. Okay, well, we'll get into all that at some point. Thank you guys for joining. That was a lot longer than I expected it to be. So our recording's at an hour. I'm about to stop it. We'll probably do this again after like 4 or 5 sessions. And
cool.
Yeah, so you guys can start putting together questions and stuff for the next time. We'll be more prepared.
Yeah, no, this was cool.
Awesome.
For sure.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Until tomorrow, whenever I get to drop more heavy stuff on you guys.
Oh, yay.
All right.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Yes, good night.